Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, back with another video. Today, we're taking a look at the new cards from the Rastakhan Rumble set for Hearthstone. The upcoming expansion, I believe it's going to be dropping on Tuesday, December 4th. It's currently Wednesday, November 28th. The final set of cards just got announced today. There's a few really interesting ones. I'm actually going to be posting 4 videos over the next few days with my thoughts on some of the best cards and worst cards from the set. So stay tuned for all of those. But today, we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 best cards in this set. So we're going to start it off with what I feel is just plain and simple the best card in the set, in the entire expansion, Oondasta. So Oondasta is very simply a 9-mana beast, which is very important, and we'll get into why in a little bit. With both Rush and Overkill, summon a beast from your hand, and it's got a 7/7 body, which is pretty typical for these, super high-end cards, these super late game cards. This is mainly going to see play, in my opinion, in something like Cube Hunter, where we're going to be running a very few specific beasts, and those beasts are going to be for specific purposes. The biggest instance, of course, is King Krush, which is your big 8/8 game finisher. The dream, of course, is to play Kathrina for 8 mana. With that battle cry, get Oondasta out on the board with Oondasta's rush attack, kill a minion, overkill it, and then summon another beast. Ideally, something like either King Krush or, situationally, maybe you would be wanting something more like Witchwood Grizzly. Just depends on the situation. But, of course, it all just kind of depends on how lucky you get. Like, let's be real here. Grabbing Oondasta when you're talking about probably running, 4 to 5 beasts in the deck is going to be pretty lucky. But, ultimately, I think that is the dream. In summary, Oondasta, probably the best card in the expansion, but we'll see. The rest of these cards are not going to be in any particular order. They're just going to be the rest of the, in my opinion, top 5 best cards in the set. We're going to be taking a look right now at one that may surprise some people, Rabble Bouncer. Now, Rabble Bouncer is going to be a 7-mana, 2/7 body with Taunt that costs 1 mana less for each enemy minion on the board. The reason this is going to be so good is because Pirate Rogue is about to be a thing. There is no doubt about it. That deck is going to throw out a lot of minions really fast, and you're going to need some way to defend yourself. A great way to defend yourself is, turn 1, 2, 3... they're going to be getting out, 2 or 3 pirates. Well, how about turn 4, you just throw out a Rabble Bouncer. Because they've got 3 minions on board, that'll reduce the cost of Rabble Bouncer. Now you've got a 2/7 taunt. How are they going to deal with that on turn 4 to 5, depending on who went first? Yeah, there's always things like, coining out Vile Spine or something like that. But for the most part, I think Rabble Bouncer is going to end up sticking if you can get it on about turn 4. And that's going to be a pretty tough blow for your Pirate Warrior... Pirate Rogue friends to deal with. Alternatively, when you're playing Wild, you're also going to be wrecking Pirate Warriors. Remember a little earlier in this video when I said that Pirate Rogue is going to be a thing? Well, this is part of why. So, next up we've got Shark Fin Fan, which is going to be a 2-mana 2/2, and every time your hero attacks, you're going to summon a 1/1 pirate. That means, let's just say, for instance, you're playing some kind of even pirate rogue. Well, that means on turn 1, you're going to use your hero power. Then on turn 2, you're going to throw down your Sharkfin Fan. You're going to swing with your hero power. And now you've got, for 2 mana, 3/3 worth of stats on 2 minions. That is going to be pretty ridiculous. And that's something that if you don't respond to it pretty immediately, it's just going to continue to get more and more out of hand. This also has great synergy with the card Cannon Barrage, but we will talk more about Cannon Barrage in another video. This one is more speculation than the others, and I say that because I'm mainly hoping that this is going to be good. I really enjoyed Dragon Warrior back in the Blackrock Mountain days of Hearthstone, and so I'm kind of hoping that we can get back into having a control-oriented Dragon Warrior deck for Standard. I have kind of enjoyed odd Control Warrior, but I'd really like to get back into a Dragon Control Warrior setup. And if it's going to exist, War Master Vune is going to be a big part of it. War Master is a 4-mana, 4-attack, 3-health minion, legendary minion that is, with Battlecry copy all dragons in your hand. So my assumption on how this is going to work with the wording and everything is I think that means that this is going to apply to every dragon you have in your hand. So let's say you have Alexstrasza and Ysera in your hand, and those are the only dragons you have in your hand. I think it just means that you're going to get an extra copy of those 2 cards in your hand. So suddenly now in your hand you're going to have 2 Alexstrazzas and 2 Yseras, just for instance. This could get really, really crazy, or it may be completely unplayable, and Dragon Warriors may not be a thing. But only time will tell. Like I said, this one is mainly speculation and kind of my hope for how things are going to turn out. Finally, the last card on our list today is going to be Spirit of the Dead, which is going to be the 1-cost spirit for Priest. Spirit of the Dead is, of course, going to be a 1-cost 0/3 body, which has stealth for 1 turn, and after a friendly minion dies, you're going to shuffle a 1-cost copy of it into your deck. This card is going to be insane in Cloning Gallery Priests, because you're going to be playing all of these ridiculous minions, and then you're going to include 2 Spirit of the Deads in the deck, so that every time one of those giant minions gets killed, another copy of it shuffles right back into your deck for 1 mana, in addition to still adding to your Resurrect pool. It's going to be ridiculous, and this is going to be in the Resurrect Priest meta. I don't know if this is going to be a absolute top tier deck, but this is going to be a key component in that deck. So that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. This is a little different type of video than what I've normally been doing, especially when we're talking about Hearthstone, which historically I haven't really covered that much on this channel, but Hearthstone has always been near and dear to my heart, and even though I'm not terribly good at it, which is kind of also a theme for my channel, but that's another story. But I definitely wanted to go over a few of these new cards for the Rastakhan's Rumble set. It's going to be really interesting to see how these cards fit in with the current meta and how some new archetypes are actually created. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. Please make sure to stay tuned for the rest of these Rastakhan card lists. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and I'm out.